July to 2024 will bring about a fight for the ages, as Jake Paul's, the internet sensation, continues his charge in the ring, seeking to take down the legendary Mike Tyson. This is a clash between wannabes and professionals. This is a clash between the young and the old. This is a fight to look forward to. On November 20th, 2023, a fight was arranged between the now professional boxer Jake Paul and the former undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, Mike Tyson. Many took the announcement lightheartedly as it seemed silly. Some found it funny that the old and retired Mike Tyson, at 57, should be anywhere but in a ring, while some believe Jake Paul should be fighting anyone but the fearsome Mike Tyson, who still has that rage and reputation. But this is a challenge Jake Paul embraces, as he looks to step on the legacy of the legend and propel his name by being one of the only 6 men to beat Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson also relishes this challenge to show the world that age is just a number, and a social media star doesn't exactly understand the world of boxing. So in preparation for the fight, we'll be taking a look through their respective careers to see what brought them here today. Iron Mike grew up in a tough neighborhood in Brooklyn, New York. Tyson grew up in a tough neighborhood with a high crime rate. Tyson, with his fearsome and aggressive nature, saw him get entangled in a lot of street bouts. By the age of 13, he had been arrested 38 times. But by the age of 12, it was discovered that Tyson had the skill set for boxing. He began training under the legendary trainer, Cus D'Amato. Tyson dropped out of school to focus on boxing, and he would never live to regret that decision. Tyson began to hone and nurture his talent as a boxer. At age 16, Tyson's mother died, which saw Cus D'Amato become his legal guardian. Soon, he made his professional boxing debut in 1985 at just 18 years old. Tyson dove frequently at a young age. In just his first year as a professional, he fought 15 bouts. Later that year, in 1985, Cus D'Amato would die. His death saw a change in Tyson that led him into a lot of controversy inside and outside the ring. This did not affect Tyson's fighting, however. In his first 28 fights, the legendary Mike Tyson won 26 of them by knockout. More impressively, 16 of those knockouts came in the first round. Just 2 years later, Mike Tyson became the undisputed world heavyweight champion. This was a record-breaking feat, as he achieved it at the youngest age in history, just 20 years old. This propelled young Mike Tyson into the status of a great. From there on, he defended his title ferociously. Tyson, standing at 5'10", was a formidable foe. Despite a good number of his adversaries towering over him, this proved to be no issue for Tyson, as he had knockout punches that could take down the biggest men in the world. Tyson always started aggressively and pounced on his opponents. This saw him win an impressive number of knockouts in the first round. But the life and career of Tyson were anything but a bed of roses. Issues outside the court began to weigh on the champion. Tyson was facing a series of personal hurdles as he was facing an imminent divorce. In 1989, Tyson barely fought. The champion fought only twice that year, and it was evident he wasn't the same. Rumors began to circulate that Tyson was hardly training for his title defense against Buster Douglas. Despite the odds still being largely in his favor, Tyson lost his title to Douglas. This was the beginning of a series of lows for Tyson. His divorce was finalized, and soon he faced allegations of sexual abuse and assault. Years later, he was released from prison on parole. Then the comeback started. Tyson began to dismantle every opponent he faced in the ring as he prepared to regain his undisputed world heavyweight title. He fought against the world champion at the time, Evander Holyfield. In a recent interview, Holyfield advised on what it would take for Jake Paul to have a winning shot at Tyson. Who better to listen to than the man who was victorious against Tyson in one of the biggest boxing fights in history? The fight between Holyfield and Tyson was incredible. Despite Holyfield being the underdog, in the 11th round, Holyfield won the fight by knockout after the referee intervened. Months later, there was a rematch between the two. This match saw a different outcome as the fight ended abruptly, as Tyson repeatedly bit Holyfield's ear. Tyson would never be the undisputed champion again, but Tyson kept on fighting. At the end of his career, it was evident the boxer was weighed down by his age, as he lost his speed and was losing to an opponent he was superior to. In 2005, he retired after a loss to Kevin McBride. However, in 2020, Tyson fought an exhibition fight against Roy Jones Jr. This was Iron Mike's most recent fight at the age of 56, and he still showed he had it. As the famous saying goes, your power never leaves you. Tyson displayed his prowess in the fight, but the exhibition fight of only 8 rounds saw it end in a draw. The result sparked a lot of controversy, as many believed Tyson should have won. Now, Jake Paul, first none as the teenage YouTube sensation. He began his YouTube career in 2013 by uploading videos. He has had a successful time as a YouTuber, amounting to over 5 million followers and 2 billion views. After being challenged several times by his fans on YouTube and with the hunger to succeed in a different field, Jake Paul set his eyes on boxing. In April 2018, the former YouTuber's boxing career began as he faced fellow YouTuber Deji Olatunji, brother of famous YouTuber and boxer KSI. Jake Paul went on to win the fight via technical knockout in just the 5th round. 2 years later, Jake Paul made his professional boxing debut. But still, this time it was against a fellow YouTuber. Many continued to write off Jake Paul's boxing aspirations, as his opponent proved to be no challenge. Jake Paul defeated his adversary, Tyson in the 1st round. It was an easy victory for Paul, as he displayed the prowess behind his punches that could take his opponents out. After the fight, he proceeded to call out his fellow boxer and YouTuber KSI. Later that year, Jake Paul fought a retired basketball player, Nate Robinson. Again, Paul easily dispatched his opponent in the 2nd round. But still, many didn't treat the boxer with respect, as his opponents were deemed to be insignificant. Many wanted professional fighters. Soon Paul turned it up with a more challenging adversary as he went to the ring against a retired UFC fighter, Ben Askren. Many thought the former Bellator MMA and one welterweight champion would pose a huge threat to Jake Paul and put an end to his boxing folly. Many ended up eating their words. The fight took place in April 2021. Many anticipated a competitive bout, as this was Paul's first clash with a professional fighter. But it would hardly be competitive, as Paul defeated Askren by technical knockout in the 1st round. Tyron Woodley proceeded to call Jake Paul out, asking for a fight. Brimming with confidence from all his victories, Jake Paul accepted the challenge. Now this proved to be a challenging fight for Paul, as the fight went on and on till the 12th round. But still, Paul prevailed over the judge's decision. Woodley, unhappy with the decision, expressed his distaste and asked for a rematch. Paul was scheduled to fight professional boxer Tommy Fury, but the fight never happened as Fury's schedule couldn't allow it. Instead, Paul rematched with Woodley. This time, the sensation Jake Paul didn't need the decision of the judge, as Woodley was knocked out in the 6th round of the fight. That year, Paul won an ESPN Ringside Award for Knockout of the Year. 2 years later, Paul finally fought Tommy Fury. It was an enthralling fight, as Paul showed he could go toe-to-toe with professionals. In the 8th round, a daunting punch from Paul saw Fury go to the mat. The fight went through all 12 rounds. In the end, it was decided by the judge's decision. One judge went in favor of Paul, and the other 2 went for Fury. This was Jake Paul's first loss as a professional. Many thought the loss would peg him back, but this wasn't the case. Jake Paul went out back there and won every single fight he has had to date. And now we come to the anticipated fight we have on our hands in a few months. Many believe it was suicide for Tyson, as he's way past his fighting days to take on a young and ambitious boxer like Jake Paul. Many also believe it would put an end to the dreams of Paul, as he's not made for the ring. This would be the first fight for Jake Paul as a heavyweight fighter. Jake Paul had the reach and height advantage, but that might prove to be of no use against the fury and power of the experienced and legendary Iron Mike. On Saturday, July 20th, we will see who comes out victorious. Thanks for watching our video today. If you liked the video, please subscribe for the hottest boxing content out here. We have more boxing videos coming your way, so be on the lookout.